Today is that day. I'm excited. For too long, I have been collecting some luxury makeup, and today is the day that I'm going to be playing with that. My latest Dior order came in. Dior launched new bronzers and new luminizers. I was all over it because Dior is one of my favorite brands, favorite luxury brands. Let me rephrase that. I have favorite indies, I have favorite luxury, mainstream. I cannot begin to tell you how happy I am that today I get to play with all of these and on camera, because some of them I've been playing with behind the scenes. But today I get to do it with you. I have so many thoughts. Stick around for the end. Believe me, this is not going to be super in-depth. If you're new here, my name is Ara. I am a 40-year-old mother of 5, registered nurse. I work night shifts. It's been really chaotic in my life over the last 6 months. I like to play with luxury beauty. One, I'm a snob for packaging, but I also love indie makeup. Today is just gonna be luxury makeup therapy. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't lick that like button. Do not lick the like button. That would be very strange, very weird. And if today is entertaining for you in the very least and you wanna see more of my face, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you are notified every time that I upload. My eyes are primed and my brows are done. I want to play with both of these. I want to combine them. However, I know people don't like combining things in the first impressions. They want to see how each palette performs, but you're not watching me first to see how they perform. You're probably watching someone else. So I feel like I'm at an advantage here to be able to play with both of these. In my left hand here, I have Olive Smoke. They were originally described as a cream formula. His cream formula is divine. I love the cream formula, but on Sephora, it's not listed as a cream formula, and it's not in the category of the cream formula palettes. I cheated. I did watch Martina Lily's review. I have watched a couple other reviews. I have a feeling I'm gonna like them a whole lot. I think combined, they would work together lovely, and I don't see them not being good together. Each one of these is a 12-month shelf life. Oh, I should probably mute my phone. It doesn't say on the back if they're vegan and cruelty free. I'm not entirely sure on that. Each one weighs 5.2 grams of product, and both are made in Italy. I bought my first Tom Ford palette when they were $85. These I think are $95 now. And don't tell me about inflation. I think I'll go ahead and start off with the matte shade in Peach Glamour and work that all the way through my crease. I am turning over a new leaf, and I'm trying what Martina Lily does with my eyes first, but I'm gonna zoom you in. So I think I will get a very beautiful cohesive look by combining the two of them. And like I mentioned, you definitely do not need both. And already the matte formula for this is looking fabulous. Already that looks amazing and blended out so easy. And this is a rougher 27. I'm just using this to smoke it all through my crease. I'm going to switch over to a Sonia G Blender Pro brush. I'm going to pick up the black shade. I don't think it's too deep after watching Martina's review. I'm basically going to pack this into the outer corner here and sweep it through my crease. This will end up looking full on smoky glam. So it's probably good that I did my eyes first, or I'm getting more comfortable doing my eyes first. I find blacks to be less intimidating if I get all of the product off of my brush before I start sweeping it into my crease. And now without any additional product, I'm gonna gently, without much pressure whatsoever, just kind of blend around that black edge, smoke it out just a little bit more and diffuse it so it doesn't look harsh. I'm gonna take the olive shade. I cheated. I know Martina tried it with the Pat McGrath primer and without, so I think it'll look the same with or without it. So I'm just gonna give it a go. This is a Sigma E58 cream color, and swipe it all across the center of my lid and over that black shade. And you might hear my toddler hollering downstairs because he loves the sound of his voice. And he's in that stage of just hollering. And now I'm gonna take the peach shimmer on the same brush, but the other side. And I'm gonna put it on the front third and bring it over that olive shade. I'm gonna take this bright shimmer in the peach quad, this one in the top corner here. I'm gonna put this one in my inner corner. I'm just gonna pack it in first because I wanna see if it will give me variety. Not a whole lot, but I can see the difference. I'm gonna switch to a Sigma E21 smudge brush. I'm gonna pick up this deep taupey green shade, kind of pack it onto the edge, sweep that along the lower lash line. And then with the Sonia G, I'm going to use that peach matte shade and sweep it on my lower lash line, starting at the outer corner here. I want to control how much I place down and then blend out that shimmer just a touch. And now taking an even smaller Sonia G pencil brush, this is a very fine point. This was a limited edition holiday collection. I'm going to take the black matte shade. I'm going to sweep this all along my lashes, or at least right there at the lash line the best I can, because I do not want my eyes to look droopy. And I feel like if I sweep too much black under my eyes, it can do that. And for one final touch, I'm going to take this Sigma inner corner brush. This is an E46. I'm going to take that final shade, the very first one in the peach glimmer quad, and I'm gonna pack this all along the front of my lower lash line. This shade just adds such a bit of brightness. The other shade did not. Maybe I should have packed this one into my inner corner. Hindsight's 20/20, but either way, it looks beautiful. And now I've officially used all 8 shades. To my surprise, there is not a lot of fallout from those palettes. I don't have too much to clean up, but what I do, it's the little bit of black flecks that are on my cheek. I'm trying to be careful not to smear everywhere. If you watched my previous video, you know that I bought most of the new Isomea Core collection, and this primer, I liked it. I'm gonna use this again. This is a second impression for this primer. I think it made my base look really beautiful and luminous. Hopefully I don't have a bunch of shimmer on my fingers. Yeah. We'll see. And it held up in my T-zone and my forehead so well. My forehead looked incredible. And I'm not sure if this microbial gel will knock the Tatcha Liquid Silk off of its pedestal. It may end up becoming a favorite down the road, but right now it is an impressive contender. And it looks and feels so good on my skin. And I did a good job of hiding my neck today for this film. So I'm going to use the Lilac Color Corrector from Isomea again. I felt like it did give me a bit of brightening and helped correct a little bit of dullness, which is what the lilac shade is marketed for. It says it's for light medium, but it did work perfectly fine on my skin tone. And I think I'll build this up and just use it everywhere. I'm not overly fond of the packaging though. I feel like the packaging is a little gimmicky. I'm just gonna end up placing it all over that concealer that I put down. It should be okay after my foundation. Hopefully it doesn't lift it up, but I don't see that being an issue if you're gonna mess up like I did and try to use it over the top of a concealer. I've spot concealed all the areas I want to spot conceal. This is the Dior Forever Hydra Nude. It's not my first time using it. I think it's a very beautiful light medium coverage foundation. I have mine in the shade 0N. I'm gonna give this one a go again. I've worn it 2 or 3 times. It's really quite thick. So I thought this one would look a little more runny. Oh my God, it's struggling coming out of there. What is happening here? Oh, what happened to my foundation? Oh my gosh. So that first little bit is really, really clumpy and chunky. And then the rest of it that came out, I think that's okay. I'm gonna pick it up on my powder puff here. It's a Sephora powder puff. I have been really loving applying foundation with the powder puff. And I'm gonna try to apply this and then go pick up my son. Something about this foundation just does not look as pretty as I was hoping it would. I'm not super excited about it, and it's not my first time wearing it, but there's just something about it that just is not giving me what I want it to give me, and it's kind of clinging to my dry patches on my forehead here. It's been a few hours. I'm not entirely sure where I left off. I'm just gonna keep it moving the best I can. I do know I need to conceal, and the new Isabella concealer just totally blew me away for a light coverage concealer. It's so luminous. I had difficulty getting the correct amount to come out. I overdid it. Be careful. Try not to squeeze out too much because it was a pain in the butt. It's not easy to control how much you get out. The lighting is completely different now because it's now 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I started at noon. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I can fit all of my hobbies into a day anymore. I'm definitely not loving the way that the Dior Hydra Nude is looking on my skin. I don't know how well you can see. It just looks so dry and patchy around here, around my lips and my smile lines, which even after it's been a few hours, a lot of foundations don't do that to me. And I noticed it right away. And I've got like a little dry patch here, little one here. And you can see a little dry patch way up in here. It's kind of just clinging to my dry skin. I don't like the way it looks today. It looked decent the first few times I wore it. So today something is off. Something with this formula. I shook it up real good. Something with this formula is not sitting right. I'm not happy with it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood contour wand. I finally picked it up. I have not used these before. She launched, I think it was 3 or 4 new shades, an extension to her lineup. I got the lightest shade Fair. It's described as a neutral undertone. I've used it a few times. It doesn't blow me away. It doesn't knock my socks off. It doesn't wow me. It doesn't feel like it lives up to the hype. And it's had a lot of hype around it for a long time. You can see I've just been kind of using the crap out of it there. So this is the shade Fair, the lightest shade. I'm going to compare it to the Rare Beauty. The Rare Beauty one, I really like this one. It's so easy to overdo this one. You have to be really careful. I already got too much on that little stopper, but this is the shade, the lightest shade. What's that? Gentle from Rare Beauty. I like the undertone of the Rare Beauty so much more. This one is neutral. I can wear this one for the Charlotte Tilbury more as a bronzer and not so much a contour, but I can get away with both. I just prefer the undertone of the Rare Beauty. And I don't know if you can tell very well through the swatches. The swatches for the Rare Beauty is a little bit more sheer. The Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit more opaque. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out of here, and then that's the downside of this too. You pay so much and you get so little. I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand here, and I'm gonna use my brush to pick it up. I feel like I get better control when I use a brush. This is a Danessa Myricks My 8 brush, and I'm just gonna swipe it on here. It's really pretty. I think it's overly hyped and doesn't really live up to the expectation that I had for it. I've used it enough times to know now I won't be repurchasing it. It's just like a one and done for me. When it comes to a liquid contour though, I need it to look a little more cool toned for me just because of the light pink undertone that I have. I'm done with all my cream products. I'm going to go ahead and play with the new Dior bronzers and highlighters. I'll have swatch comparisons inserted for you. I picked up 2 of the bronzers, 2 of the highlighters. I am beyond excited about the bronzers. I have high hopes for them because the last couple bronzers I bought from Dior have been letdowns. These are the 2 bronzers. One is number 2 light. The other is 2 light matte. Light is the shimmer or luminous, hopefully not shimmer, luminous bronzer, and matte is just the matte one. They look the same in the pans. The packaging is so beautiful. These are snap closures. They have a strong perfumed scent. The perfume that's on these bronzers. It doesn't bother me, at least not yet. It might irritate my skin. It might cause my skin to break out. The scent is too strong. I'm so over makeup having fragrance. I don't need it. I don't care for it. But they look the same in the pans. They don't look too different. You can hardly tell that number 2 light is a luminous bronzer. They're so pretty. I cannot wait to compare these to the other ones that I have. I got mine from Dior's website, and they always send me little samples that I love. The bronzers on Dior's website, you cannot get the shade 1. It's not even listed, so I'm hoping that this number 2 will work for me, and I think it will, looking at it in the pan. This one is the shade 2 Light Matte. I'm going to use this. I cleaned off this bronzer brush the best I can. It's the Sephora 50. I'm going to put this on my right cheek. Man, I really do not care for the fragrance. I'm very sensitive, but at least it's a pleasing floral scent. This is Too Light Matte. It works for my skin tone. I built it up quite a bit so you can see it, especially over that Charlotte Tilbury. It's so lovely. And this one is number 2 light, and because they look the same in the pan, I'm just hoping it doesn't have any shimmer in it whatsoever. I happen to really enjoy luminous bronzers. I think they're very beautiful. I don't have too much texture though, so I feel like I'm a little biased in that regard. If you have texture and you want a luminous bronzer, this one I feel like is pretty doable. I'm not seeing much of a difference between these shades. I'll be honest, you could probably just get away with buying only one. On my cheeks, it looks the same. I cannot see a difference between the luminous one and the matte one on my cheeks at all. I can see the little shimmer, like pearl, in the pan, but that's about it. For my forehead, I still cannot see a difference. I don't know if you guys can, and the lights are just kind of reflecting quite a bit, but I don't see, this is matte, this is luminous. I do not see a difference. I do not see a difference. This doesn't look luminous. They both look like a healthy, natural glow. It doesn't look like a harsh matte, like an ultra matte, like the Melt Cosmetics Ultra Matte bronzers. It just looks like a soft satin bronzer. I'm not unhappy about it, but I cannot see the difference in my mirror, in the viewfinder, between the luminous and the matte. I picked up 4 of the new YSL blushes. I could not help myself. I know I did not need all 4, but I bought them. These are the YSL Make Me Blush blushes. These are each made in Italy. It's supposed to have a 12-month shelf life. I saw that on here somewhere. No, 24-month shelf life. Yes, 24-month shelf life, airbrush. It says blush, bold, blurring. The only reason I bought 4 of them is because each one has a corresponding packaging shade. And then when I was looking a little bit deeper into it, where is my other one? When I was looking a little bit deeper into it, I could not decide. I could not decide which ones I wanted. I definitely am too fair-skinned for this shade here. This is the shade 83. I drew such a blank on that. It only says 83. It is way too deep for me. It's so beautiful for a purple blush. Magnetic closure. It's got a lovely weight to it. It doesn't feel cheap, but I have been blending it out with the Baby Doll Pink shade, which is hiding around here somewhere. I'll find it. Blending it and like doing more of a duotone blush where I'll put this one a little bit higher up on the cheek and then kind of soften it with the baby pink one right around the center of my cheek. The packaging size reminds me of the Gucci, which I pulled out to kind of compare. The Gucci one is beautiful. The packaging for this is very luxurious as well. This one is not a magnetic closure, but this is what it reminded me of. They feel similar in size, similar in weight. The YSL is magnetic. The YSL just has a little extra touch to it that the Gucci blush does not have. So this one is, I would say, just a touch above. I'm going to go ahead and swatch all of these for you. This one is number 42. I'm going to put the 2 lightest ones on the back of my right hand. Oh, This is the one that I've been using with that deep purple. And you can just kind of sheer it out. And it looks really, really pretty. I'm gonna see if I can put a more opaque swatch right next to it. Well, kind of. And then we have 87. This one is more of that vibrant pink. Very, very beautiful. And then a hefty swatch here. And then we have 44. This one is a luminous finish. This thing is so, so beautiful. It's a healthy, luminous, lit from within. It's just breathtaking. And then 83, which is sold out. This one surprised me. It's sold out the fastest on Sephora. I don't even know if they've restocked it yet. I haven't looked, but this thing, it is just such a deep berry shade. Yeah, this is not meant for my skin tone whatsoever, but I just thought when I bought it, I could blend this out with that baby doll pink and get such a beautiful duochrome type of shade. And I did. You have to be very light-handed with this shade though. You just need a very light touch if you're a light skin tone, if you're gonna buy it, because it's not meant for us. I'm gonna use number 44. I feel like it will go with this eye look just a little bit better. And then, so I'm gonna put this one a little bit higher up on my cheek without the dog fur, and then blend it out with that baby doll pink. Holy moly. I'm gonna have to buff this down. That is bold, and it is blurring, and it is luminous, like a very healthy glow. And then I'm gonna go in with the shade 42, which is that cool toned, and I'm just gonna get a dab. Oh my gosh, it picked up so much. Not that much, not that much. Just a dab, and I'm gonna gently use this to kind of blend out the fronts. Already that just looks so much prettier. And I got a little bit of that Nude Lavier, number 44 in the back, that's luminous, and then a little bit more of this matte baby doll pink in the front, and it just has a bit of, just a little bit of variety to it. There is something about this shade, 42, that is underrated. I have a lot of the cool tone baby doll pink shades. This one just has a little bit of a touch to the undertone that I cannot really describe. I'm terrible at it. Let's do the Dior Luminizers. Oh my gosh. This launch did not need to be as wonderful as it is. I'm so mad at myself because they are expensive and I bought 2 of the bronzers, and I'm really hoping there's a difference between these 2 shades. I bought shade number 2 and I bought shade number 6. 2 is Pink Halo, 6 is Opal Sequin. It's more of a white pearlescent one. This is number 3. This is such a good pinky undertone neutral shade that's perfect for my fair skin, at least from the pan looking at it. I think it's gonna be perfect. And then number 6 kind of reminds me of the Fenty Diamond Balm. You can see the shimmer particles in it, so I'm afraid if you don't like shimmer, this is probably gonna be a pass for you. It has like a glass silky reflection to it. I'm not sure how well you can see that on camera. I'm gonna start by putting number 3 Pink Halo on my left cheek. This is a Danessa Myricks My 12 brush. Over that luminous blush, I definitely don't think you need it because I think the blush will work as a highlight all on its own. But whoa, look at that. That is Pink Halo. And then this one is number 6. I'm gonna put this on the right cheek. And depending on how it looks, oh yeah, you can see shimmer all over that. Depending on how it looks, I might end up putting it over the left cheek too. Actually, it's not too shimmery at all. This one is number 6. Oh my gosh. Opal Sequin has a lovely iridescence to it. The shimmer particles are not very chunky. They're not very large. This is one that I would think that you'd probably reach for on a special occasion, any type of party, so to speak. Not so much on the everyday use, but it's so lovely. It's so lovely, and I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not. I'm gonna put this in my brow bone though. I like both of these. I think both of them have their place. Lena Allure has two different shades that I didn't want until I saw her upload, or at least her reel on Instagram. This one is number 6 Opal Sequin. Oh, look at that. It's like the more refined older sister of the Fenty Diamond Bomb. If I were to describe it or compare it to anything, that's what I'd compare it to. These just have a very mature look to them. When I hate saying that too. I mean, I'm 40. They just look more refined and more elegant. I guess if you were to describe it in that way, I would just say just more elegant. I don't have much else that I'm going to play with today, but I do have 2 new lipsticks. I have one of the new Chanel's and one of the new Sisley. This is the Phyto-Rouge Velvet. The Sisley one is the one that I've been holding off on the longest. I have had it sitting here for a minute. I bought it as soon as it launched. This packaging, it's just so, oh, it's sexy. This is just a sexy packaging. Click closure. It's not magnetic. That's okay. It doesn't bother me too much. It feels weighty. I bought the red shade 41 Rouge Flame. I do have another Sisley lipstick. I was not a fan of the formula. I didn't care much for it. And if you watch that video, it was kind of a dud and I hate it because it was so expensive. This is Rouge Flame. Look at that. So let's do a little swatch. Oh man, I'm over the moon with this one. Rouge Flame looks like it's not a blue undertone red. This one looks a little more neutral orange undertone. This is Tom Ford number 108 Headline. One of my all-time favorite pencil formulas. This thing is so stupid expensive for a lip liner, but the formula is so good. So good. So I'm going to line my lips first and then we'll use the lipstick. Let's use this beautiful red lipstick. It does not have a scent to it. Just, oh my gosh, that is heavenly. Right off. Wow. That feels so luxurious. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Stop it. That is such a good formula. Even my teeth love it. You have got to be kidding me. This feels so silky. It's matte. And to my surprise, I didn't get it all over my teeth this time. So this is number 41 Rouge Flame. You know what? I go so far as to say it feels similar to Hermes, which is my all-time favorite formula. Just a $75 price tag. My finished look turned out so beautiful. I finished my lashes off with a pair of Lily lashes. This is in collaboration with Ulta. These are in the style Claire. I feel like these are a very comfortable, lightweight pair of lashes that don't look too enormous for my eyes, and they give a little bit of that luxurious touch that my lashes are definitely missing. I need to go over this with you. These 2 quads from Tom Ford are the best formula I have ever tried from Tom Ford. The wet to dry is beautiful. I love it, and I have so many. The cream formula, but this formula, whatever changed, and it feels very creamy. This is not his dry matte formula. This formula is the bee's friggin' knees. This is the bee's knees. I'm choking back because it's so expensive and how much I paid. He's had so many misses. I love most of my Tom Ford makeup. Just, there have been so many misses in his quads. Like Dior's had a bunch of misses in their quints. Chanel's had misses in their quads. Please stick to this formula, Tom Ford. Stop playing with my heart. Stop with the crappy formulas. Stop with the duds. Just do these because they're good. They are beyond good. They are good. Good. The YouTube novice in me completely messed up and deleted my goodbye. So this is just all you get. My apologies. Thank you so much for spending your day with me today. I truly appreciate you more than I can express in these words. If you haven't already, do something for yourself today because you are worth it.